It's the place you go when you finish your show. We're your two best friends. Our names are Max and Ben. We're self-proclaimed television experts. It's Reality Alert. And live from her cabin in the woods, we have Ashleigh here with us. Ashleigh, how's it going today?
Hi everyone, it's going great. I've just built this cabin particularly for you guys in this podcast today.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
I've been at it all day, literally.
Well, thanks for taking a break.
Yeah,
We
I
know
need
it's
it.
it's a tough job, so we
My
appreciate
hands
it.
are in bits, putting this wood together. It's been tough.
Us Americans we're fascinated by the cabin crews out there in England. We really are.
Yeah. We call them
Actually, so
lumberjacks.
great. I
Yeah.
didn't think that would become something, but when you guys mentioned it, I was like, oh my God, of course you don't know. You say flight attendant.
Yeah, we say flight attendant. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not sure what that has to do with anything because you work on cabins, but yeah, we say flight attendant.
Yeah. Well, you guys, we work in the air, so I get it. It's flight and you're attending, but yeah. There's many names for us, but
But you
I'm
build
a cabin
cabins,
girl.
so yeah, that's cool.
Right.
Yeah. We've received so many messages of people trying to explain what your job is to us.
They're like, they don't.
Really?
She doesn't actually build cabins. You know that she works as a flight attendant, right?
Oh my God.
Well, and we
No,
we always just respond, really?
Are you
What?
sure?
Are
I'm
you
pretty
sure?
she lives in the woods.
It was the lumberjack thing that just got me. Like, it was just hilarious.
We're like, where's
I
your
want a little
flannel?
meme like that. Yeah.
Where's your flannel shirt? We'd always.
I know I should have worn it today. I'm sorry. I put it down because I've stopped building and I just want a break,
Right. Too much sawdust on it, right?
Too much sawdust. Yeah, it's always it's a lot round here now. Love it. I love it.
Well, we have to say we're big fans of you, and thank you for being Reality Alert's biggest fan this season.
Yes.
It means a lot to us.
Oh, you guys! No, thanks for following the journey that we've all been on, but particularly mine. I've loved your commentary the whole way through. So it's made me smile even in the toughest of times. It's been great.
Yes. I will have to say, I kind of thought that you and Billy were still together because he was sharing our stuff a lot too. And I was like, are they listening to it together? Because sometimes that happens where couples will like share the post and we'll just assume like, oh, they're probably listening to it together,
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were like,
Really?
oh, well, they both like it, so.
Yeah. I think, like we obviously signed NDAs and things. So I kind of didn't want to give anything away, even though we knew the truth. And I think he was very aligned with that we were just going to go with the drops of the episodes and just continue posting as if we were, and then until the news hit. But it was quite funny. He was posting as well, even the cake stuff. Like, he must have loved it.
Yeah.
It was such a big shock when we found out that you guys weren't together anymore, because we were just like, oh, they've been liking all the same stuff and everything. This is crazy.
That is weird. Yeah. Well, I mean, I did marry the guy. We were aligned,
True.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly.
Makes sense.
I guess that shows something. Yeah.
Yes.
So, how did you end up on Love Is Blind?
Oh my God. Do you know what? It's a funny story, this. So I didn't apply. My good friend who wasn't single at the time, but she got approached on her Instagram DMs by the team, and they were like, do you fancy applying for the show? We're recruiting. And she was like, oh, I'm with someone, but actually I have a pretty crazy friend that would do something wild like this. Stand by. And she came to me and she was like, look, I've been approached, do you fancy going for it? And I was single. I've been single for, well, at that time, over 4 years. So I was like, yeah, do you know what? Why not? I've been so unlucky in love. This sounds like a bit of me. I hadn't actually watched much of the first season. Only a little bit of it had dropped at that point. So I kind of got up to speed and educated myself around the concept. And then I thought, do you know what? Because I've been so unlucky in love, this time this could work. Like, let's put the experiment to the test. And when I do things, I go in 200%. I don't go in halves. So I gave it my all, and that's how we got on the show.
Wow, that's funny.
Okay.
Was there any guy in the pods that you talked to that didn't seem excited about the discounted flights from your job?
I mean, some guys just, it's not for them. Like, they totally, as soon as you say cabin crew or flight attendant, they were like, nah. Most guys lit up with the fact that you can say, oh, yeah, I'm going to get you discounted flights, even though I never said that. They just assume it. And I think you saw in one of the dates with one of the guys, I'm like, it's just a big ick. Like, if that's the first thing you say when I tell you what my job is,
Yeah,
no,
Yeah.
yeah.
What
but
about
I'm
the
sure that
guys who
comes up
are
a lot.
excited about free pretzels?
Oh, free pretzels. Yeah, I mean, they get a lot. Free pretzels, business class seats. It's a lot that goes with this job. Traveling the world.
And so, did Billy not do that? Oh, of course he didn't. He was like, "Oh
Well,
my god!" Like he
yeah,
tried to run out the pod door, but it was locked. Right? Like they kept him in there.
yeah. He tied himself down.
Yeah.
I lassoed him in there, didn't I?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you guys were really into the cowboy stuff in the pods.
yeah,
What?
it was
Yeah. So
cute. It was a
what's the
playful
fascination
time.
there? Was that more you or more him?
Well, we connected a lot on country music, so
Okay.
that was one of our things you didn't see, and we would talk about that a lot and going to festivals after the experience together and country shows. And he sort of said, yeah, that'd be really fun. And then the next time we got together, we had to plan a date, and I was like, oh, imagine we just did this, like, I don't know, fun cowboy two-stepping date. I didn't know how it would look, and it was initially a little bit awkward because I was like, there was no music initially when we first did it, and then they suddenly put the music on in the pods, and I was like, "Oh, okay, now we dance."
Oh, I wish
So
they
then
had
I
given
started
us
getting
the
the lasso
theme
out, and I
with the
thought,
no
"We've got to
music.
embrace this. Come on." But I had no idea what he was doing that side, so thank God I didn't look like a complete melon, just standing up on my own.
Did you ever connect with anybody else in the pods? Like, I feel like we only ever saw you with Billy, to my recollection.
Yeah, you only ever did see me with Billy, but yeah, I had some other connections in there. I mean, Billy was my strongest and was really drawn to him. But I had some fun dates. I had some handstand dates. I connected with a guy that was, into physical training as well. And so we did handstands one day in the date together and planks and all sorts. It was great. One guy was quite artistic with me. I'm quite artistic myself. So we were like drawing each other one day, a bit of a like Rose and Jack from the Titanic.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow.
Except I was fully clothed, just to put it out there.
Okay.
None of that went on.
As far as
But
well, he didn't know if you were fully clothed, though.
well, he didn't know.
Right.
True.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had some really. I feel like the pod experience for me was a massive learning of like who I was. I think I've never been able to be totally vulnerable with a guy, and when I have in the past, it's just been like back in my face, and it's been taken advantage of when I've really opened up to who I am. So for the last 4 years being single, I've just kind of bottled things up. So the experiment for me when I dated these guys was about understanding like how vulnerable can Ashley get, and what guy allows me to feel that way and safe when I speak about things, my fears or hopes and dreams, or who Ashley really is, what Ashley's soul is. So it was quite an emotional journey for me. It was very special, the pods. I feel like I came out of there as a different person and a better person for it, understanding myself a bit more.
So even though Billy ended up ending things with you in this, it's kind of a fucked up way.
Yeah.
The way it was presented to us, we try to be objective.
Yeah.
Do you feel so? You feel that there were positive things from this experiment for you?
Oh, so many, Max, so many. And it mainly is around like self-love, and that is the best and most important love anyone can give you to start with. That's what you need fundamentally. And I didn't have that. I hadn't broken those boundaries with myself yet. So I think the pod experience showed me that. And then it continued throughout. And life is a journey, it's not a destination. And although I took massive risks in there and I have no regrets, yeah, I came out of there hugely proud of myself, guys. And, you know, I feel proud that I was vulnerable and very emotional at times. And I just stayed true to who I was throughout it all, which was crazy because you've got a camera in your face the whole time. And, you know, you've got to be brave, and just, if you feel something, you've just got to say it. And I think for a long time, I probably didn't say how I really felt. So I just found it a journey of self-discovery, and I'm so proud of, yeah, the woman I am now coming out of it. And I can't wait to kind of influence and share that story with others. To It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be brave when the risks are really high. Because if you've got hope and love, then you'll be okay if you stay true to yourself. That's how I've come out. Like, yeah.
Do you
It's a
feel that
great
there were
attitude. Yeah.
that's a great attitude. Do you feel that there were times during the show that there were specific points that you wish you had still expressed yourself more?
No,
No, like you really feel
no.
like yeah.
I feel like, Max, I was the crier of the season.
Yeah.
And and I hold my hands up and love that about myself. I didn't realize how emotional I was until I watched it.
Hmm.
But I look back and I'm like, no, that is how I felt. And I think that's really helped with the healing process of watching it back, is that I truly saw Ashleigh in that moment. And I truly saw Ashleigh hurt or sad or heartbroken or hopeful or in love. And I wouldn't go back and change anything because that was raw. That was all real.
Cool.
That's great.
Ashley, tell me, did you ever figure out what happened to Billy's first wife?
You're sounding like that was like a murder mystery then,
No.
Matt.
Well, you should have investigated it, because on the show it was very mysterious.
Very
He's like,
cryptic.
Very
Very
like, my
You
cryptic.
first wife,
think, guys?
she went missing. I don't know what happened to her a few years ago, but she's gone.
Oh my God. You guys, I need to get
Look,
Cluedo.
we just asked the questions. That's it. We're just looking for
Yeah.
answers.
I mean,
Oh, did you just call it Cluedo? That's so fun to us. We call it Clue.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Cluedo?
But it's the
Yeah, they
same
call it
concept,
Cluedo.
yeah?
Oh my god.
The
that's
board game,
adorable.
right?
That's
Yeah, with like
adorable.
Mrs. White in the
Yeah,
billiard
and
room.
Professor Peacock. Yeah, they have all the same names, but we call
Oh
it
my
Clue.
god.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. There's a movie based on it. Do you call the movie Cluedo?
Yeah. It's a
What?
musical. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Ah,
This is
you
amazing.
guys, look, I'm
We could do a full hour of just British terms.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
aubergine, eggplant.
Oh,
Lift, elevator.
oh gosh. Let's get to Cluedo, shall we? Yeah.
So did he explain? Because like on the show, he's just like, "Yep, got divorced." Did he explain like why his marriage broke up? Did it check out to you?
Yeah, he spoke really highly of his ex-wife, actually, which was a massive green flag to me, because someone to talk about their ex with that much respect, it showed that they ended amicably. Yeah, it ended on, okay terms.
We say amicably. I don't know what you guys say.
Yeah, we have no idea.
Amicably do.
We
I
say
You
don't
don't
that
know.
know
too, I
with your
just can't
alien
pronounce it.
language what you call it. But
So yeah, he did express a lot around her, and that they fell out of love, and they got married quite young, and it just fizzled out. Maybe I should have done a bit more digging around that on reflection, but I think, I also respected his privacy with her and him, and
That
we
makes
are
sense.
being
Yeah.
filmed 24/7, so some things it's nice to keep to yourself and not share every part of you. And because that wasn't part of our journey, it didn't need to be publicized. So I respect him for kind of not going fully into detail with it. But behind the doors, yeah, I totally had conversations with him about their relationship. And again, as I said, I think the big flag for me, the green flag, was that he had learned so much from that relationship around communicating. And I was like, if you can come out of a marriage and say you learned something and you're looking forward to the future to make things better with this time, then let's give it a go.
Yeah, I mean, that does make sense. She didn't sign up to be on the show either.
Yeah.
So I do understand the perspective.
Yeah.
What did you think about Billy's Michael Bublé tattoo?
Well, I'm not really a Bublé fan, if I'm being really
What?
honest. I
Oh my
know.
god.
What?
I know. I mean, yes, at Christmas, you know, we can listen a little bit of Bublé, but I'm not like a lover, hardcore fan. But
Right.
I found it really sweet, and I hoped that he would one day put that name was going to be me on there. I've got no tattoos, but tattoos meant a lot to him, and he had a lot more than just that one. So. Yeah, I found it as sweet. It was cheesy. Again, it showed his soft side. And I think in the past, I've gone for very masculine kind of guys that are really into themselves. And I was like, nah, this is different. I like this about you.
So
Well,
you
I'm sorry you
didn't?
didn't end up next to Buble on his arm. That's too bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So you didn't
Yeah,
get to the point
well,
where you were added to it. You didn't get to the tattoo. You're not on his arm.
I'm not on his arm. I mean, 3 months I didn't make the cut. No.
Man,
Damn.
too bad.
We're okay with that. Trust me. Don't worry.
But Buble.
Bublé. Do you like Bublé?
Eh,
Obsessed.
it's like you said. He's like Rudolph or
Yeah.
Frosty the Snowman. I like him when the season comes around.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I have a bunch of Buble tattoos. I just can't show them to you right now. I'm obsessed.
Oh.
How much did Billy talk to you about your job in the pods, like, and his concern about it?
I think the main conversation was captured with what you guys saw. It definitely wasn't a conversation that came up every single day, because if it was, I would have been like, let's move on. This clearly isn't working. So the main conversation was the day that you guys watched, and yeah, we put it behind us. He took that leap of faith. I'm a very hopeful person, and when I saw foundations in Billy and I's relationship, I I think some people were like, "Oh my God, she's begging for his love, like she's forcing it." It really wasn't like that. There was a lot of reassurances his side from other areas. It was just, the job was heightened on the edit, and it was a doubt of his. But you saw when I expressed what future could look like, and it didn't mean quitting my job. It just meant when we have a family, if we have children, then I could explore another role in my industry, in the company I work for, to support our family, to support us, to strengthen us as a couple. I'm not just going to give him everything and just quit and go, yeah, like, you deserve me all. I was definitely keeping myself, my pride and my career. It was just that was blown out of context, I think, by how it looked. So that was talking about the future.
Okay, this is a big question. Can you
Go
tell
on.
us about your thimble collection?
Yes.
Are you ready? I bought one
Oh.
for you today.
Oh my God, please.
Oh
A
my
thimble.
god. Let's get a close up on that. What is that?
Can you see it?
Does it say
Whistleable?
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 Whitstable.
Whistable.
And it's a beach with
Oh, it's a
can you
little
see the
beach.
sand?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah,
Texture.
Adorable.
I was there. I went in that sea. It was bloody cold. But yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got 150. I actually tried to dig out 150 for you, but I moved house when I was in the experiment, which was really stressful. And I don't know where the thimble collection is right now. So
Right.
I'm
Well,
very
you just built
sad,
that
but
cabin.
it's
So
somewhere in the cabin. The
yeah.
cabin's pretty big, so it's probably hidden in the cobwebs in the cabin somewhere. But I have dug out one for you today. Yeah.
Thank you.
This is the
What
most
a
recent one.
treat.
This was like 3-4 days old. I got this. Yeah.
How
When
did
did
you
you
start?
start collecting?
Yeah.
So it started with my nan. She used them back in the day, as you should when you sew, to protect her fingers. And then I just had a fascination of them when I was growing up around her. And she had loads on display. And she said, "Look, I'm going to hand over the collection to you." And I think at the time she probably had like 50. She had a lot. I then doubled that. We've gone for 150 now, and I collect them
Wow.
everywhere I go. But you know what? In the States, it's quite hard to get these. Yeah. I don't think you have them everywhere.
We don't have them everywhere, but we do have them.
We do
Yeah.
have them. They're not as common in a gift shop or something.
Yeah, so
let's
can
say.
you get them at like gift shops and stuff?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They're proper like magnet shops, you know, all of the good souvenir stuff. You'll
Yeah.
find
Right.
these
Right.
with your rock as well, your sweets, all of that good stuff. Like, yeah.
You know, actually, I have to say, you're not the first person that I know who's had a thimble collection, because growing up, my mom had a thimble collection, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she actually passed away a couple of years. It's okay. And I went looking for her thimble collection and I couldn't find it, unfortunately. But I think like when we moved houses, she was probably like, I don't know if this gives me joy
threw it
anymore.
out.
But growing up, I remember being like, oh, a thimble collection, very interesting. But they must have been like really old thimbles, you know, like because
Yeah.
we don't have souvenir shops with them. But I was like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
So I wonder where she got hers from.
Probably from like old
Europe.
places in like the 50s.
I feel like
and
they
stuff.
are at some souvenir shops, but it's not as probably not as much as out there. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't remember them necessarily being like decorated. I remember just being like different thimbles from different places. I'm not really sure, you know. I don't recall. It's just like an old childhood memory, you know, being in her office and being
Oh,
like, "Oh, a thimble collection." So, yeah, thimble
it's
collectors
pretty
unite.
unique.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some people would just call me old fashioned, probably, or just like a granny. But I love like sentimental stuff like that, and the fact that it started from my nan, and she's still alive, and she always asks me how many have you got now. But the thing is, I need to make sure the cabin is big enough to put them all up, because yeah, I need a big wall, or I might one day I'd like to open a tea shop, and I
Aw.
think with lots of cake, right? And I'm gonna have these all on the wall.
I
Oh,
will say, I
nice.
think that's a good collection to have because it represents the places that you go to, but also it doesn't take up too much space. Like you can have a lot of them on like one shelf. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not like when people collect like huge dolls and stuff, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, this is getting a little wily here.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
Dusting them's quite a pain though. They get dusty.
Uh, do you go
Oh no.
on the inside and stuff?
Yeah,
Oh
and in
damn.
between them. So I'll have to
You're,
get my
you're
duster
like,
out.
oh, it's Saturday. I gotta dust my thimbles again.
Okay, Ashley. At the reveal, you tell Billy that you're surprised he has hair. Were you disappointed that he wasn't bald?
Yeah, that was a really interesting comment.
Yeah, were you did
I
you wish
mean,
he
You
was
really
bald?
thought he was bald.
I was drawing him in my notebook and in my mind that he was bald. I just had this feeling he had no hair. I don't know why. We weren't allowed to talk about appearances, as you know. So I was like, he's just got no hair. So when I was feeding him, I was doing like a little survey or X-ray, like
Oh,
in
you're
the
seeing if it
airport,
was a
you know.
toupee or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like doing the head to toe, and I was like, you've got little ears, and you've got no hair, and you've got really long eyelashes, or you have got hair. Sorry, yeah, it was. I don't know. I feel like it was when you don't see someone and then you have the reveal. It's like being born for the first time. It's like having all your senses heightened, like hugely. So everything just came at me like I can speak and I can see and I can feel something. It was just surreal. So it was really, really surreal.
Did you ever try to shave his head after that?
No, but I shaved his legs.
Oh,
Well,
really?
Oh yeah, because like the rugby thing, so he still shaved his
Oh, that's
legs. Yeah.
well, so he shaved his legs. Apologies. He shaved his legs, and I was like, no, let's grow them. So I reversed that. He ended up growing his leg hair for me, which was cool.
Wow, you didn't respect his leg routine.
I really wanted a man with lots of hair, but I don't mind that. Like, give me hairy legs.
At the reveal, why did you speak in the third person? You started saying Ashley's in love. Ashley meant Billy. Why did you think you needed a narrator?
Did I?
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Did I? What at the river, like with him?
Yeah, you're like, Ashley's in love. Ashley met Billy.
Yeah. The
Oh my
narrator
God.
came out of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's oh my God, I didn't even notice that. Isn't that so strange?
Is this something you do commonly, do you think? Maybe
I
you just
think
don't
I do
notice?
it commonly. I'm a bit, like I'm very animated as a person. Like I'm I'm a fizzy
Yeah.
character, and I think I probably do.
Just when you get excited. Yeah.
Ashleigh's playing Cluedo.
Ashleigh just got another great thimble.
Ashleigh got a splinter building a cabin.
I think, you know what? Like my life is like a little bit of a story. So maybe I kind of like talk it out loud all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Maybe because when I don't have my friends around or I'm on my own, and when I'm a hotel room away, I'm like, this is what's happening. Maybe it's my way of like therapy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like it.
Right. Yes.
I stand by it, guys. Come on, you got to try the third person sometimes.
Yeah.
No, I
No,
know.
it's good. You got to step out of yourself a little bit and
Yeah,
see it from a different point of view. Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
Max is interviewing Ashleigh. Max is asking a question.
Ben is thinking about where he can go to buy thimbles today, this afternoon.
It was quite funny because I don't know if you remember this. There was a small section of this in the show, but when I had my wedding dress hanging up in the big manor house that we were in before we got married, I talked to the dress. I was like, "You are so beautiful. You are." I can't wait to wear you. And like, I remember feeling the materials and it was just so real and magical. And I do remember talking out loud like that. So funny.
Well, you needed to convince yourself that the dress wasn't a little cheap, right? Like you
Yeah,
needed
mate,
to...
it wasn't cheap. I love my dress so
Max
much.
is a major critic of all this.
I think Netflix skimped, guys. I just think it's not you, it's Netflix, okay? You looked great though. You looked great. And I really like the outfit that you wore to the fitting. You know, that was great.
Oh, you remember that? God.
Yeah. Me and my fiance were talking about it. We're like, we love that outfit with the black
like the
bows.
silky skirt, the cardigan,
Yeah, with the black
buttons.
bows, it was great.
Max is
Oh,
gonna
cute.
be the biggest groomzilla that you've ever seen. I'm telling you, this is.
I'm gonna be a
That is
fucking
so
It's
tyrant.
gonna be a mess. He's gonna be in tears on his wedding day.
Can we
My
all be at the
fiance
wedding
keeps
day,
trying to
Max?
save money, and I'm like, no, more flowers, more thimbles.
I think we should all be there, Max. Literally.
Max,
Do a
we've
virtual
gone to every
podcast at the
thimble
wedding, yeah?
store within the region. We
Max
can't.
wants more. All right, Ashleigh, how was Cyprus?
Cyprus was wicked. Cyprus was wicked. I'd been to Cyprus before with the army cadets that I was in. And so I'd done a military side of Cyprus, but I hadn't ever done I've done Ayia Napa as a girls' holiday, but I've never done this Paphos beautiful side of Cyprus. Kind of relaxing 5-star hotel side, should I say. So yeah, it was epic to have a room like that, infinity pool, time together. It felt like a honeymoon, although you did have filming constantly every day. So although you wanted to lie in, you'd have to set an alarm and get ready to get up and go to the waterfall. But it was fab. I loved it. So it was a mini holiday. Sorry, that's the dog liking Cyprus too.
No problem.
Were you aware that you were Cal's type? I think this came up a little bit for you. We were talking to Barty yesterday, and she said she had no idea, but that you did. Did
No,
you? So you didn't know that you were Cal's type during this whole time?
No, I didn't. I had no conversation about him with him, like being like, because we couldn't talk about types, like you weren't allowed. So
Yeah.
I had no idea. I had no idea. No, until the conversation with Sarova of me and her at the pool.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So yeah.
So then it was like, oh, he likes blondes, and the two blondes were Barda and I. But there was nothing there, like, no, not at all.
What did you think about this whole situation with Sarover and Cal when it came up? Because I know that you pull Sarover aside and you do your little producer moment where you ask her how she's doing.
Yeah, have you been hired yet as a producer on Love is Blind?
No hiring.
Okay.
It was, no, do you know what? I know it probably like looked produced, but it really wasn't. I'm someone that give so much to other people, and I'm very in touch with like people as well, and I like to make sure everyone's okay. I'm just a big empath basically. So I was just feeding off how she was feeling that day, and I obviously there was a little bit of murmuring around this type thing. So we were sitting at the edge, and a conversation happened there where I was like, believe in yourself, like you've got this, girl. Like he picked you for a reason. Obviously now this physical attraction's got to grow. But I'm so proud of her, because I feel like her journey went from probably being less confident in who she was to being so confident now in who she is and strong. And she now can communicate and verbalize what feels right and wrong. Like me, I'm better at it as well from the experiment. And she kind of had those big conversations with Cal where she was like, this is how I'm feeling. And that's good, because you want to be able to work out if you can make this work or not. So that was
Yeah.
like a genuine friend to friend moment. Yeah.
And then you have your other producer moment. It was really good. You pull Katisha aside to make sure she's okay in her relationship. What made you so concerned about her relationship?
Well, she asked to have a chat with me, and I think, again, like, just because the person I am, people naturally warm to me, and it's lovely. It's really kind. I probably give too much to people though, which is also not great. But I was concerned because her and Javin, I wanted to see it be successful. I wanted to see her get married and have this love story that she wanted. So I just wanted to have that check in and be like, are you feeling okay? Like, what can I do? Do we need, like, let's just talk it out loud? Because sometimes people do bottle up their feelings, and I'm very open to kind of like being that all ears, big cuddle, big open friend. Like, let's hear what you got to say, and let me help you like find that clarity, if you like. It's just comes naturally to me as a person, which is might surprise some, and might people might think, oh, whatever, like she's so positive, like, but that is honestly me. I'm such a people person.
Was it very obvious to everyone that like their relationship was weaker than everybody else's? Was that or was that what people were saying, or what? Like, what was the vibe around Javen and Katisha?
I wouldn't say it was, well, I wouldn't describe it as being weaker. I'd say that we were aware that perhaps she was a stage behind everyone else, her and him.
Hmm.
We've said I love you, a lot of us. I don't think
Yeah.
Megan had at that point, but I think we naturally saw couples forming and physical attraction happening and connections being strong. And we just noticed that because you're around everyone else that's so loved up, it was apparent that perhaps they were just a day or a step behind, which is fine. Everyone can go at their own pace.
Right.
Why did you and Billy bring up 5,000 times that your dad had never met one of your boyfriends before?
It
So
was
I
a
many
feel
lot.
times.
like,
It was a
I know, I
lot.
feel like, was it 5,000?
Yeah, I counted. It was 5,000. Yeah.
I feel like the comments have been about 5,000 times on people asking me. So it didn't feel like 5,000 times at all. It really wasn't. The whole concept that was drawn by was basically my dad hasn't been in my life for the last 10 years. He has worked abroad, and I haven't really had that kind of male figure to look up to, really. He hasn't been in the picture. So any relationships I've had, I've not been able to introduce them to him, and I wouldn't have done that via FaceTime or had a call with him. So he's not really seen me in my kind of later adult years, like as a woman and as a falling in love. So it was such a big deal when I sat him down and said, this is Billy, he's my fiance, will you walk me down the aisle? And that's why it was so emotional, and I think people really felt that and saw that.
This all makes sense now, I think, to me. Like the pressure and all of the feelings and stuff, hearing it straight from you. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Were you concerned that he wouldn't support you, your dad? Or
I was nervous.
you were nervous? Yeah.
I was really nervous, guys. Like, me and my dad's relationship at that time wasn't super close. I wouldn't naturally tell him about boyfriends and relationships and that sort of side, because like he's my dad. Like, you know, I would tell my mum and my sisters. So I knew he'd support me. He's been and is the most amazing dad and a real kind-hearted, proud person of me. But we'd never really had a relationship where we verbalized that proudness or love for each other. And I think I know the experiment did that. And coming out of it, another learning, I guess, Max, that you asked me at the start was what have you taken away? The relationship with my dad. Me and my dad like are able to break boundaries now. We talk about things that we would never have talked about before. We talked about the past and separation with mum and dad, what I didn't quite understand about that. And we've really become a strong like dad daughter figure, and I'm really grateful for that,
Wow.
actually.
Wow.
That is really great.
Yeah, isn't that cool? Like, you know, like it wasn't the love story that I'd hoped for, but really I've spent the last year, I guess, but like healing and finding out what the purpose was of this journey of mine. And definitely part of that was the relationship with my dad. That's something I'm really lucky to have found.
That's
That is
awesome.
super cool. Yeah.
Well, let's get to a big part of your journey. Let's get to the grocery shopping experience. Woo! Yay!
Oh my God, I still have some bananas for you. Yeah, let's get talking.
Why was this so fraught and emotional?
Oh gosh, you want to get deep again, Max? You want to get deep?
I mean, I know that that you talked about
Yeah,
you know, your childhood and the you know, your background, but
yeah,
this was very intense in the store.
yeah. Like during the shop, I just found it uncomfortable the way his love language or he was talking about food. I never shopped with someone that he was just on a mission. He had a purpose and a drive, and that's obviously how he likes to shop. Like that's okay. That's his way. But like maybe when I'm shopping, I'm a little bit more chaotic and I'm a bit like, oh, we need those, but also let's just get a treat. You know, I have a goodie cupboard in the cabin. There has to be one at all times, just with a few things that are nice in there when you're needing a pick me up or you're having a hot chocolate and you want a Vicky. So at the time, it just felt like, oh, this is a bit different. This is unusual. And then when I had the interview after where it's just me sat on the bench and I get emotional, as I said before, like this journey was like therapy for me. They were like, "So how do you feel the shop went?" And I was like, "Actually, I don't feel it went well." And it was the first time I was really raw with myself since like the pod part and the Cyprus bit. And it just opened up some emotions of, you know, being back in school where I was pretty underweight. And I've always struggled as a woman to put weight on. And my mum took me to the doctors when I was little and was like, look, she's like underdeveloping compared to her friends. What should we do? They were like, look, she just needs to like eat more, get some more protein, feed her more. So my mum felt really responsible and started like, you know, we looked at food, not that we didn't, but we looked at food as really like happiness, you know, healthiness, but also not restrictive. And it was a source for me to build my mental strength and physical strength. And at the time I was bullied for being like a weed, and I used to be people used to say, oh, you've got like wool and cotton wool is your elbows and your arms. And it was, although it was a joke and I can laugh about it, there obviously was like a deep rooted little feeling there of like, God, I just want to be stronger and I want to put a bit of weight on so I can hold myself more and be confident. And yeah, so food to me is really important and it shouldn't be kind of restricted. It should be free to how you want to use it and eat it.
Did you feel that you once you were married, I know it was very short and he went into date mode, but once you were married, did you guys live together ever?
No, that was what was a big difference, Max. We'd spoken in the pods and actually this isn't shown, but we said, first 6 months it's going to be tough because he couldn't get a base transfer initially towards the south until 6 months in. So we knew we'd do a long distance thing. And I think that's hard. That I have to admit, that is hard. Having married this guy and not starting a real life like imminently after, even
Yeah.
though we'd
No.
spoken about it, it was tough to navigate.
Yeah, he did say though at least once on the show that you just needed to work hard for 6 months and then things would be fine. So that was about the base transfer you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. And like work hard as in like we both need to put the effort in and
Yeah.
drive to one another and see each other, which actually we did. And we had a lot of amazing weekends and we went away and I went to Belfast, he came here, he took it to Miami. But yeah, I kind of knew that it would be difficult for the first 6 months, but as soon as we'd lived together, then life could actually start. And I was looking forward to that part, whereas he obviously ended it 3 months in. So half of that, which we'd spoken about, he kind of called it quits.
So
Do you think things would have gone differently if you had moved in together right away? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do, Ben. I think being away from your partner where you just had an intense experiment with, although you can FaceTime and call and see each other at weekends, yeah, it would have really helped build our foundation even further if we'd lived together. And I know that wasn't possible straight away. And don't get me wrong, you're not going to go into a marriage and have everything ready and like, oh yeah, we can tick all that off straight away. It was a shame that we didn't actually give that a go because that would have been a real test. And perhaps then I would have understood a bit more that, I don't know, maybe we clashed if we lived together. Like it maybe would have made it a bit easier to understand why it didn't work. But to just give up after 3 months, yeah, was tough.
Mhm.
So did you feel that after this moment with the food discussion that you guys got better at dealing with the food issues and disagreements?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you see that scene where I'm quite uncomfortably talking about, why it triggered me, and he does really take it on board, and he didn't realise that, where I was coming from. So, yeah, we did, and it again taught us how to communicate better. So we definitely moved forward from that.
Yeah, I did see him really like take it in and understand. We just never really saw it put into practice, so I was wondering if like it worked out. But I did
Well,
feel that when arguments came up, that you guys were like listening to each other and trying to work things out. It's
yeah.
yeah,
And I stand by that. And that's why I married this man. Like, I have no regrets of marrying him. I'm very much accountable for knowing he had doubts, but I married for love. And I married because he respected me. He let me be myself. He communicated so well, like in the experiment, that I knew where we were at with each other and I felt safe. So it was a shame towards the end that he didn't really, that what how he ended it was a shock, and why he ended it was a bigger shock. But I do have to give him like a big gratitude and myself that we were a great communicative team. Yeah, we
yeah.
were.
Uh, let's see. When you guys, sorry, what was it like when Billy's dad reveals a story of how when he left for the show, he said he'd be fine as long as there were no stewardesses?
Maybe I should have shown him the emergency exits at that point and said,
Yeah.
oh, I had a really good relationship with Billy's dad, actually, really good. All of his family, actually. But that, I think Billy had mentioned to me something about his dad saying, don't date an air hostess because you said you didn't want to. But I didn't expect him to say that on camera. And it was like, perhaps the second sentence, it was like, is this real? Because I don't know if I buy it. And Billy did say he didn't want to date cabin crew, and I'm like, it was an uncomfortable moment. I'll be honest, guys. Yeah, and I kind of felt like I had to defend myself and my career, which again I didn't want to have to do. Like someone should love you for all of that. But I get his. He was just a bit cautious, I think, because Billy had said, "Don't I don't want to do that again."
It's funny that you have to defend being cabin crew. It's not like
Yeah.
you're a murder for hire or
Yeah,
anything.
it's like you're an
You know,
ex-con or
right?
something, right?
Yeah.
Literally, absolutely. It's the best job in the world, building cabins. You know, day in and day out.
What did you think watching the show back when Billy tells his sister he's extra cautious and less likely to jump into things?
That was a really uncomfortable chat to watch back. Because remember, although you're living with this person and we are speaking about our feelings, and he had told me he had doubts, I think when you watch a conversation that your partner's having, your fiance is having with his sister, and it was really, I felt like he was really assured with his thoughts at that point. He was very confidently saying, like, I just not, I'm not feeling totally 100%. It wasn't pleasant, guys, to watch back. It was uncomfortable. And he was obviously in his own environment. He was in his home, wasn't he, right? In Northern Ireland. So I felt there was a natural space for him to feel at ease and talk about things. Whereas I, at that point, felt extra out of my depth because I'm in his home with his mum and sister, and I felt like I wanted my family around me because that was the time when he spoke to me on the rocks and he was saying I'm 50-50, and then seeing his sister's chat, I was like, wow, he really was not feeling it. That was tough. Yeah.
In the actual timeline of your visit to Northern Ireland, did the family visit happen before or after he told you he was 50-50?
The family visit actually happened after
That
the
is a lot to have to visit the family after he told you he's like ambivalent about it.
Yeah. Well, do you know what, guys? I've actually forgotten that until you've mentioned it. Yeah, it was. So I'd had this deep chat on the rocks. We jumped in the sea. That woke me up. That shook us both. And then, because it was so cold. And then we went and met his mum and sister. Yeah, the next day. So this was a really tense trip because, yeah, I was away from my family and loved ones. And yeah, there was a lot of uncertainty around everything there. Yeah, in Ireland. Yeah.
Just how blindsided were you by him saying that he was 50-50? Was there any indication that he was feeling tepid about things?
I wouldn't. I was shocked that he said I'm 50-50 due to your job. Like the job, I was tired of hearing that the job was a problem
We
because
were
we'd
too.
spoken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
every
I get it,
episode.
guys.
Yeah.
I was tired too. So I really didn't want to buy that excuse. Like, I was like, there's got to be something else that's holding you back. Because the job we talked about weeks ago in the pods, and you proposed to me, you said you love me, we're making this work, and now we're revisiting that issue. It was confusing.
Yeah.
Were you and Billy the only people on the plane to Belfast? It just showed. Was it a private plane for you guys?
Imagine a private jet. No, we weren't that important. Don't worry. No, we were on the plane, but we got on and we managed to do that little demo before everyone got on. Or actually, when everyone got off, we were like, "Let's do it now."
Had
Okay.
you really never tried a Guinness before?
Yeah, never.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've tried a baby Guinness, but that's cheating, right? Have you got that there in America?
We have, but the first time I ever tried it was when I was in London. Like when I was in London, we did a lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's easier to drink. But yeah, I just had a small pint of Guinness. So yeah, it was cool. I mean, it's meant to be good for you. So, give it a go.
Yeah. How was the hen do for you?
Oh, the hen do was a real mix of feelings that day. I loved being with the girls, Megan, Barda, Sarova. I loved being with my sisters. But it was the first time in the experiment that I felt like I wasn't sparkling, like my sister said, like I wasn't fully Ashleigh at that point. I think the doubts Billy had were like looming over me without really knowing that they were there, they were a cloud. So I was putting on a brave face. I enjoyed like getting up. Well, actually, I didn't enjoy dancing at all. I'm not a good dancer. And that whole thing that I had to go after Megan doing the splits and then
Yeah,
give
that's
the
a hard
little
to
safety
follow.
dart.
That's pretty tough.
I couldn't follow that. She's amazing. So yeah, it was a really emotional hen do, which you don't really want your hen do to be, do you?
No, Sorover told us that a big part of the hen do was you being upset. She told us that it became a big part of it. And then we asked Barda about it, and she said that she didn't remember you being unhappy at all, and she was just drunk the whole time.
Yeah, she said I was too drunk to know what was going on.
She was like, Ashleigh was upset.
That's hilarious. But I felt like the way their girls were sitting, Barda and Megan were kind of the other sides of where I was. So I don't think they really knew. And at that point, they had small things to chat about, but there was a lot of focus on the doubts Billy had. And that was because it was like days before the wedding. And yes, Rover and I had some deep chats. I was really cold that night on the hen do. I was really hungry. And I needed some food. And it was emotional. It was, and it's not how you want your hen do to be. You want it to be excited. You want to be looking forward to getting married to this man. I just think the realization of his doubts were really real, and seeing my sister saying, "We're not sure that we like this," that was the first time they'd said that. I was like, wow, my family are seeing something now. Maybe I am a bit like down with it. Maybe I am upset. Like what yeah, this is sad.
Well, back to the fun stuff. Is doing the flight safety routine your party trick, would you say?
Yeah, that was your catwalk, wasn't
Do you
it?
know what it should be? It never was before, but maybe I need to just embrace it and have that as fun. I mean, I don't think it was that good, guys, but thanks for the compliment you're trying to give me. Like,
Well, we saw a behind the scenes photo of you showing the crew how to do the flight
oh
safety
yes,
routine. So it seems like this is your party trick.
okay, yeah, no, that's true. I posted a photo of that. Yeah, yeah. I think people like
Great.
want to know how to like demonstrate the oxygen mask, the life jacket, the exits, how to put the seatbelt on. Like maybe I need to make a little reel of this. Like
Yeah,
maybe this
because we
needs to
don't pay
be.
attention on the plane. So like it's like when you do it,
Yeah.
we're like, oh, I've never watched this before,
That's crazy. I know. And I'm actually the manager on the flight, so I actually get to read the demo. I don't
Ooh.
always get to do it, so I think I'm in my element when I'm actually doing it because I
Yeah.
don't do it that often.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
So at the stag party, so when you're watching this back, Billy tells Cal that if the wedding was tomorrow, he would say no.
I know. That was shocking. I did not know that conversation happened.
What do you think changed for him?
I think we had a bit of time away from each other, and not as long as Barda and Jed had, but we weren't the first to get married. So we did have a few days at home away from each other. And I think that time was really healthy for us to reflect and kind of regroup and think about what we really wanted. And I think he really missed me at that point. And I think he was like, I love this girl and I want to give this a go. And, I'm gonna fight for it. I think that's what I hoped that is what he felt.
What were those days like in between moving out of the apartments and the wedding? Were you guys in active communication?
Yeah, we were in active communication. It was uneasy though, because the next time I was going to see him was going to be at the altar. So, and you know what was really strange as well is my friend, obviously we had our phones back, we were able to talk to people that knew obviously about it. And my best friend rang me and she was like, this is so weird, Ashleigh. I've never gone to a wedding not knowing what the outcome's going to be. Like, this is surreal. I mean, just for those guys listening, like it was very tense, and I think my family deep down thought he was going to say no. I think they really loved Billy. Billy loved them. They'd had chats off camera and were like, whatever happens, Billy, like, this is a safe space. We're a loving family. We want Ashleigh to be happy. We want you to be happy. But if you've got uncertainty, then don't break her heart. Like, don't risk her feelings in this. Just say no, and it's okay. Like, we had those conversations. As I said, we were really communicative, and they, I think, were trying to reassure me that it's going to be okay, Ashleigh. Whatever happens will be. We'll take it as it comes. And I think most people at my wedding felt that it would have been a no as well. And I wasn't sure. I didn't know. I couldn't tell you if I thought it was one way or another. I was unsure.
Wow. I mean, like, from our vantage point, he looked really pale and almost like he was being held hostage. Like, did that read to you? Like,
He looked very
he
nervous.
he
Yeah.
looked unwell almost.
Yeah, I think that didn't read to me in the moment. I promise you. When I walked down the aisle and I had my dad and my family and his family, and he just lit up and he saw me, and I was like, "This is going to be a yes." So I just felt there was love. I saw it in his eyes. I felt that. Even when we were at the altar, I didn't really see that back and forth like mindset when I was in the moment. When I watched it back, hell yeah, I was like, this guy is so unsure. Like, is he going to say no? And I kind of urged on that when I was watching it back. I was like, your head is saying no. And then the fact that it came out as a yes, I was like, I was speechless. You saw, I can't believe it. And I think, yes for me was like, Ashleigh, I'm going to commit to you. We love each other. Let's give this a go. Let's tackle the obstacles and fight for each other. I would have wanted that yes. I didn't want the yes that he gave me, really, that ended in 3 months' time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. That's too bad.
Billy says that he said yes because he believes in love. Do you think that that is why he said yes? Do you believe his reasoning?
I think he does believe in love. I think he came into the experiment with the right intention. I do. Do I think he was ready for a second marriage? No.
Mm.
Do I think there was more self-discovery and learning for him in himself? Yeah. And I wish he didn't gamble on my feelings that day. But he did. I wanted to marry this man because we did love each other, and there was so much of that you didn't see, and we had an amazing experience where I could see a future. And it was a shame that he didn't listen to really what was telling him inside to say no.
Do you think that you would have continued dating if he had said no?
Rejection at an altar, like, I'm even finding that hard to even like say now. I think for anyone, like, you're about to get married, Max, that is not what you imagine to hear when you're
Yeah.
on your wedding day. So it wouldn't have been an easy ride. Like, I wouldn't have just gone, yeah, let's just start dating. I would have felt hurt, but I love the man, so it would have been tricky. I would
Would
like
that
to think
have
we would have
had
given
to
it
have
a
been
go,
a
but it would have been
conversation
hard.
you had like a week or two ahead of time, at least?
Sorry, Ben. What was
Would
that?
that have had to have been a conversation you had much further ahead of time?
Yeah. Do you know what? I think because I didn't want it to be a no, I wanted to marry this man.
Uh-huh.
I was in love with this man. I didn't even process what no would look like and what no would be. Perhaps my family did. I think they were very worried. My dad's like shaking, like crying. As you saw, and everyone's really nervous. Even his best friend was really nervous. I remember seeing his face. So for me, though, I hadn't processed a no, so I wouldn't know what that looked like.
Do you think all of the family being there was added pressure to Billy feeling he had to say yes?
My mum says that. My mum says that she felt that he felt nervous with us there, with them there, sorry. But they were smiling. They had a lot of time before I arrived at the wedding where they hugged him. They said, you know, we've got this, you've got this, like, what will be will be. So there was a lot of love, but there was also, I think he felt the pressure, and I think he admits that on one of the interviews, that there was an element of pressure, whether that was from production or whether that was from family. I don't know. That's something you'll have to ask him. Yeah.
Okay, so the wedding happens. You're happy. You go into date mode, you said, and I think he said he feels that reality hits him like the second that the show ends. What does that mean exactly to you?
It's so strange because you are living in a bubble for 10 weeks, and your life is kind of planned out for you in the 10 weeks. You know, you're going on a honeymoon, you know, you're getting married, you know, all this is happening. And then you hit reality where you're back to your normal jobs, you're back to living where you live, you're back to your friends and family. But we had spoken about like the transition. I was very hopeful that, and brave, and I wanted to make this work. So when he goes into reality, I knew that he'd be working 9 to 5. He knew I was going to be shift working. We hadn't played it out as such, but again, it wasn't a big deal. Like, I loved this man. I wanted to live with him. I wanted to move in and have his, have a family with him. So I don't think, for me, reality didn't change anything. It was awakening, but it didn't change my feelings to him. I felt like I grew closer to him in reality, and he distanced when we got to the real world. And I don't know if that was because he was living away from me. Maybe he got in his own head. I don't know what happened there, but there was a disconnect from him. Yeah.
So then when did things take a turn, do you feel like, for the worse in the relationship on Billy's side?
There was just this uneasiness I felt in my gut when I was with him, like living life with him, like away with him, weekends with him, with family, with friends with him. There was this uneasiness, and I was like, I don't know what this is. He
Starting
didn't
when,
really
though? Like,
communicate.
instantly?
That was straight. It was quite quick. It was quite quick out of the experiment. We got married in October, and I would say Remembrance Day was November. Yeah, it was end of October and November. I was feeling uneasy. There was something wasn't quite right with him.
So how shocking was it? I mean, I'm guessing it was incredibly shocking when he, when he did this whole breakup with you. That was in a McDonald's parking lot. Is that what happened?
A gas station or
Gas station?
No, that was the reunion, heightened reunion. No, the conversation where he like took my breath away, guys, with what he was saying to me in regards to how he felt about me and how not into me he was on the 1st of January, after we'd been celebrating New Year's at my best friend's house. And I was like, whoa, like, you're telling me now, and we married, and I did not know you felt like this. If you felt like this, then why did you say yes? So that happened then he went on a training course for 2 weeks, and we did keep in touch, but I respected that he was busy with work.
Told you that right before he went out for 2 weeks?
Yeah, he was in the country, Ben, but he was working for 2 weeks, and I, like you say, exactly, I sat at home, an anxious mess. Like,
Yeah, I bet.
it was dark. It was really dark. And I'm always someone who's got hope, and there was no hope for me in that moment. It was really horrible. So Sarova came round, and she was like, me and Cal aren't together. And it was really odd. And we had this like, what the heck? And all I kept thinking was, Billy, please don't, like, I hope you don't do what Cal's done. Like, and then when I met him in the north, I drove there because I was at home here. My mum was around, so it wasn't right to meet in the cabin. and I didn't want to meet halfway, although he said, let's meet halfway. I was not going to meet, as I said, in a petrol garage or whatever. I said that. I don't want to do that. I want to come to a comfortable space. So I drove up from the cabin there 2.5 hours to meet him. And that's when he just basically said, I walked in the door and he was like, I don't see a future with you.
Wow.
And I kind of come to grounds with that, guys. I mean, the conversation on the first pretty much said, like, I don't want this. But I had no clarity until 2 weeks later where he fully explained himself. And even in that, I don't really understand why he felt a disconnect.
Why do you think him and Cal did this so close to the same time?
Especially since they were communicating with each other.
I don't think they planned to go, I'm going to end it. Yeah, I'm going to end it. Let's do it. I don't think it was a conversation like that. I feel like there was an expression of their feelings together. And I really hope that they made the right decision for them and their marriage at that time. I just hope they didn't lean too much into that conversation, or Billy didn't lean too much into that conversation with Cal to make his final decision final with me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, to be influenced by the other person.
Yeah, exactly. I respect that they've got boys chat. I do respect that you need to lean on each other 100%. It's lonely. They get each other, but I just really hope that Billy had his own mind in this and didn't lean into anything else that was around, the influence of Cal. And yeah, because I hope I'm more than that to Billy.
How are you and Billy now? Have you been in communication or anything?
No, it's quite frosty.
Oh, okay.
Since the reunion, I think he thought we were going to sit there and be friends.
Yeah.
And I don't think he saw that powerful, self-assured side of Ashleigh and her Ashleigh. Someone who's had to watch my wedding day the day before and other episodes and then see you and feel that heartache again. Like any human being who was in love would feel hurt up there. So I think that caught him off guard, how strong feelings hurt I was. And since then, he blocked me on social media. So that if he's processing it like that, that's okay. But I didn't expect that. I didn't think that needed to happen. And we haven't really communicated since. No.
Oh, wow.
It's interesting to me because I feel that you have a very empathetic view towards Billy this whole interview. Like
Yeah.
you do see it through his eyes. You're hurt and you are angry, but you have a very empathetic view of the world. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
that's why I asked the question. I was like, I wonder if they're like kind of okay, but it also makes sense that you wouldn't be, so yeah.
No, I feel like empathy is a superpower to me. But I've also had people take advantage of that. And this experiment's taught me to not let people do that anymore. And I'm standing strong on my own 2 feet now. And I don't need to people please or say what he wants me to say or pretend to be okay when I'm not. Because the experiment taught me to be vulnerable and speak my feelings and don't people please. Don't say yes for the sake of saying yes. So I spoke the truth and I did love the man, and that's why I married the man. And I have got a lot of empathy because I'm not a nasty I'm not, there's no evil in me. And I believe no human being deserves to be spoken to nastily or have bad things come at them. I think respect everyone. I respect that he made that decision. I'm hurt and let down and I don't forgive him. But I'm not here to be evil or nasty. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not how I am in life. That's not my morals. That's not how my values are, you know? I could be. And you're right. Some people probably would be like, why is she not like gunning for him? Like, and that's probably taken people by surprise. But I'm going to be really honest. Like, this is how Ashleigh is. This is who I am. And I see the best in people. And yeah, I am let down by him, but I'm not here to be nasty.
It's a good end.
Yeah, it's a good end.
I think it can really consume you, the bitterness, if you do.
Yeah, life's too short, right? And do you know what, guys, as well? Like, we have got to get a divorce. Like, this was a real marriage. And even when we ended, as hurt as we were, we did say, let's have that open dialogue, which is frosty at the minute, and that isn't in place at the moment. But I know we will get to a point where we can have that, because I don't want to drag on this marriage any longer than it is. I want to be out. I want to move on and close this chapter for good. So I'm not about bitterness. Yeah,
That's great.
How did you feel about the reunion? Like, your experience on the reunion?
Wowza. Like, you know, we have to watch a lot of episodes before we go on to the reunion to get a full concept of what's happened. So you guys are behind us, people, if you like. So when we're filming the reunion, we've seen everything, but we've seen it in a very compressed time period. So we've watched 6 hours worth of episodes basically before we film the reunion. So your emotions are heightened going into it. Rightly so, you know. How do I feel about the reunion? I feel proud of myself, you know. I feel proud that I actually stood up there and, you know, expressed the love that I have for my job that I've done for 12 years, and I've worked my way up, and I'm proud of that, and I'm not letting anybody put me down. That's not going to happen, you know. So I would say I'm proud of the reunion. It wasn't comfortable. I don't like confrontation. I am a big empath, so it wasn't my natural habitat. But as you can see, I'm so hurt up there, and I'm proud of how I held myself. Yeah, I am.
It's interesting hearing you talk about this, because as like reality TV fans, we watch this. We watch these reunions all of the time, and people are always yelling at each other. But a lot of the times, they're people that have been on multiple reality TV shows before, so they're professional yellers. So it's interesting to hear to hear you talk about it, and it's like, you know, for people like us, confrontation can be very scary. You know, we're professional speakers and comedians, but for me, I'm like, I don't like really confronting people all of the time. You know, like you're saying, for people like you who have never done a reunion before, and you have to stand up for yourself, you don't like conflict. It can be very difficult.
It was, and there's an audience there. There's influencers there. There's TikTokers there. I can't remember exactly how many people, but there's a large volume. There could be, don't quote me on this, but there could be at least 100 people there, and you're faced with your husband, people kind of heckling in the audience, and I just found this inner strength, guys. Like, I don't know where that came from, but wowza, like, I found it and I needed that. And I'm proud of that. And I stand by being very assertive and knowing my worth. And that's what this experiment's taught me, all about that worth and self-love. And I was not going to just lie there and be a people pleaser, which Ashleigh probably would have done before going into the experiment. Like, hands down, would not have been able to deal with that conversation before. I actually think that was one of the bravest conversations I've had in my life. 31 years. Yeah. Wow.
You just spoke in the third person, by the way. So
and you loved it, didn't you, so much?
Yes.
Yeah.
So would you do more reality TV? What do you think? Do an HGTV cabin show?
Cabin show. Are you going to set me up? Let's bring it on. Let's do it. I mean, I think people have enjoyed watching me, because I think what you're, like you say there, Ben, like, on Max, I have been only myself in this, and that's quite hard, you know. but I have been true to myself. So if someone wants to see more of Ashleigh, probably crying. But no, I'm joking. Probably just being me, and if that's what people like, then and I feel like it's the right time in my life to do a show, and it's the right show, of course. Then yeah, I would consider it.
I want a thimble show. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Maybe we
That's
need
what
to
the people want.
start discussing the 150 thimbles I've got.
Yeah, an
We
hour-long
will, one per
episode
episode.
per
Yeah.
thimble.
Maybe I can dust them with you, talk to you about where they come from, what they smell like.
Yeah, this
What
is
else
this,
you can do with
this
a
could be like a
thimble?
PBS Bob Ross sort of thing.
Yeah.
I
People
like
are
it.
into that these days. You know, you do ASMR with the thimbles. We could do a lot of stuff.
Oh my god, guys,
I'm
this is out of my
gonna
comfort
lightly
zone now.
touch the thimble. Okay. Now this thimble's very special to me. This was a beach I went to when I was young.
This thimble tastes like metal.
These are really scary voices right now.
Some people find them relaxing. Max loves these voices.
Okay.
So Ashleigh, what's up with life now in the cabin crew? How have you been doing with everything?
Oh, thanks for asking, guys. It's been surreal leaving Libland. I want to call it. I just called it that, Libland. Going back into Ashleigh world, Ashleigh cabin world, and I just operated my first flight literally a couple of days ago to India, and I was nervous. I was naturally anxious because it's crazy. This is all filmed a year ago. You then relive it, the heartache, the bravery, the courage, the just with social pressures and noise from other people and strangers and social media out there. And then you kind of go back into that dark place and think, oh my God, like that really, yeah, am I okay? So I've kind of tried to catapult myself out, and that's not been easy. I've taken a lot of time away. I went to get my thimbles. I've done some, real kind stuff for myself, and now I'm ready to go back to work, and did that flight, and people recognizing me was so odd. Like literally people going, are you Ashleigh from Lib? And I was like, yeah, it must be me. It's been surreal, but I've loved being back at work. I found, work is very much a big part of my life, and I was never going to stop doing that, whether I found love or not. Work is me, and being able to look after people at 38,000 feet and get to a destination and be with an amazing team. Like I loved being back at work. So yeah, it's different. It's weird.
That's great. You know, I can't wait till we get a podcaster on the show one time and someone's like, you got to stop podcasting. It doesn't work for us. And they have to do the whole thing. I'll feel so seen, I'm excited. I'll be like, Ashleigh, I get you now. They can't take away our job.
Has Maria not given you that ultimatum yet?
Not yet. I'm waiting for it. So we can't get, probably right before she walks down the aisle. She'll be like, by the way, I'm not saying yes unless you quit podcasting.
Yeah.
Interferes too much with everything.
Yeah.
And then you'll go, I'm free.
Yeah, I don't have to podcast anymore.
Oh. No, don't give up. Don't give up your day jobs, guys.
No, it's crazy. Well, Ashleigh, it has been so fun to finally get to talk to you. Finally.
I loved it. Like we've been communicating via Instagram, haven't we? And messages like gifs and stuff, and like your memes of me. And I've loved every single one of them. Like they've just been great. I just hope we can keep connecting and keep doing things like this. And thanks for having me on the show. I've loved you two. You've brought joy to me today. It's been great.
Yeah, Misa in the chat says, we love Ashleigh. She's positive vibes. Yeah, our listeners love you too. Ashleigh, yeah, you're welcome on the podcast anytime. We would love to have you.
Yes.
Oh, if you need a bit of positivity, Max and Ben, like, just have me on. Like, yeah, I don't know where it comes from, and I know you're trying to wrap up the interview now, but
oh no, we're not. You can go on for as long as you want. You can, we're not wrapping up.
I think just mum and dad divorcing at a young age, which I know happens to a lot of people, and it's tough. I think there was not a lot of light in my life at that stage, and I was a teenager, and I wanted to bring some hope to my family and my sisters, and that is where this kind of get up and go attitude come from, and like this inner strength that I just found. Believe it or not, I was very shy when I was a kid. I didn't have any friends. I had thimbles. No, I didn't even have thimbles. I had a teddy. That was my best friend. And then this teacher at school kind of gave me this self-confidence, and I went through the family issues, and I just found this hope that I was like, I'm going to shine bright for everyone that needs a little bit of like light in their life. And that was my sisters and mum and dad at the time. And I've just kept that attitude going. So yeah, it's been a pleasure that you've been able to like allow me to shine a bit brighter and share that story, and hope this touches other people out there, and maybe I can do something with this in the future. I don't know.
Oh,
We
that's
have
great.
to. We have to let you shine.
Oh,
Yes.
It's part of the job, you know?
yeah. No, you've been really,
Yes.
really wonderful. I feel like you're my two brothers right now. Like,
Yes.
Yes. Awesome.
yeah. I'm the American sister, right? At the UK. Well, can I be American? No, I can't.
Yes,
I
you
can't
can.
You
understand.
can.
You have to
can.
call it Clue now, though. You have to drop the dough from
Clue.
Pluto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Ashley, should people subscribe to Reality Alert at youtube.com/reality alert? Should they?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Hell
How about that
yes.
Patreon at patreon.com/reality alert, starting at $5 a month? What do you think? Should they pay up?
Yeah, I do. I think if you have guests like us on, and we make a difference to your lives, whether that's a 5-minute podcast or an hour and a half that you've had to listen to us. I'm sorry, guys out there, by the way. Please fast forward to the bits you want. Yeah, I think podcasts are really beneficial for us all at times when we need them. So you guys just make my day, and hopefully, I'm sure you make many others. So carry on doing your job. You're great.
What a fantastic endorsement.
That's what we like
love
to
it.
hear. Thank
I
you,
love it.
Ashley. All
Have
right.
you
Well,
just
we will
employed
be
me?
back
Was this the
tomorrow.
whole setup?
Yeah.
Have you just captured that bit of the interview? Like, just
Yeah.
forget that.
We'll Venmo you $5 for that 5 pounds. Or
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we'll be back tomorrow starting to recap Love is Blind France. So get excited.
Ooh.
It's starting on the main feed, and we'll be back Tuesday as well, recapping Love is Blind Brazil Season 5 on the Patreon. Ashley, we will see you again on the podcast. Thank you for everything, and good luck with those cabins.
Thanks, guys. I've got it. Bye.
It's the place you go when you finish your show. We're your two best friends. Our names are Max and Ben. We're self-proclaimed television experts. It's Reality Alert.
Natalie.